Hey guys, hey, I want to give you a quick tutorial and a little bit of a how-to. This is how I do it. I'm sure there's other ways around the mountain for this. On making signage with a 3D resin printer. So I like to go on Google and do an image search. We are doing a Boron gas station. I'm sure you guys remember the Boron gas stations, the ones of age anyways. These were, I think, primarily, I'm sure I'm probably wrong on this, through the 60s, throughout the mid-80s, throughout like mid-Michigan, they were all over the place. In Ohio, I believe they were called Sohio stations. So what I'm going to do is make this sign, and I'd like to say I just did a Google search. You always want to try to find a nice, crisp, clean picture, or sometimes when you search it, search in, say for instance, this one would be Boron SVG file. And what we have to do is convert it over on an online converter. So once I go to there, let's see if I got this up here. I actually will take my file over to Tinkercad, which is another really cool online service, which is free, and upload your image. And if you guys have never used Tinkercad, it's so simple, very, very simple to use. It's the easiest thing in the world. So once you play around a little bit, there's tons of tutorials on YouTube on how to use it. It's very simple. So I get with the picture I like, I scale it, and then I'll go up and I'll clone it. Right here you can hit the clone, you can duplicate it, and it'll give you multiple pieces. So I usually make 2 clones, one for front and back obviously, and it works pretty good. So, and then once I go to this point, get it the size, everything I like, I usually leave a little recess, as you can see. So this way here it's a little easier to paint. And I do like to do them in clear, so if I decide to light them up, it's easy to do. Now if this was round, I previously did a 76 sign. I incorporated, because these will give you exact dimensions from center to center. So I would incorporate a little line right here. That way when I put the mirror the 2 halves together, I just line the 2 lines up and it's perfect center, which is, I found that was a good idea because I made that model and tried it different times and just could not get it to look right. So I went back in, remade it, put a little line there. Life was good. All right. I like using the Anycubic resin. Stuff works really good. Just get on eBay. Buy the big bottles. This stuff will last a long time. You can do a lot of prints with this bottle. I usually buy it in clear and green. I do have some gray here somewhere. And this is Mr. Printer. Yes, E-Packs. So I have my thumb drive loaded into the side. A little mirror shot of me there. So we turn this on. Okay. The nice thing about the E-Pack system, there is no leveling. So it's just plug and play. So open up right over here. And of course, I am very thorough on my cleaning from the previous time. Build plate's all good. And I always do is just check my adjustments, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be before I start. Check the tray, make sure it's in all the way. And throw a little bit of resin in there. So I'm getting ahead of myself, so before I put the resin in, I do like to go and make sure the print is on the file. So I go through and check everything. And I have quite a few things on here, so this is our Boron one. And there it is. So once I hit play, she'll take off. Alright. So we're good to go. And gives you little increments in the back. Take a little bit of resin, dump in there. And I know it's an overkill, but I usually go about the second line. Just gotta take your time, be careful. Okay, now I can hit start. Hit the play button. And there we go. So if you guys haven't ever used these 3D printers for modeling, small scale, even like game board pieces, stuff like that, I mean, it's an amazing machine for this. So I'll go down, they'll do a touchdown. First time I used this, I thought, oh my gosh, it's going all over the place. But it just stops. So it finds the bottom, centers out, and start to build. Now that that's running, I'll take and close the lid here. I don't put any supports on these. I lay them right flat on the bed, right on the bed itself, and I've had no problem printing them this way. Yeah, they could be a little harder to take off, but it's not that bad. You know, use the scrapers that come with it. Just be careful; they'll come right off. And the nice thing is, they have a nice flat edge to it, and there's no warping, no nothing like that. So we'll give this a few minutes. Let's see. Usually gives you a little time status here. Looks like 3 minutes. That doesn't seem long, but let's see what happens. Okay, they'll clean off and rinse them off. Let's see what we got here. You guys can see that. Very simple and easy. That took 3 minutes to make that. See, put them on the back of the plate, nice and smooth. So we'll cure these up and we'll put them in some paint. Okay, so I made a first print and it was a little too thin. So what I did, I came in, I'll show you how simple this is to adjust this. So see this number here? That is my thickness. So before, I was at 1.0. So let me change this back to 1.0. Enter. And that's how my original print was. See how thin that is? So you can see to the new one I just set beside it, the difference in thickness. I mean, it's okay, but I think for HO scale, it's just a little thin, and it'll be a little harder to work with in paint. Especially see how deep the numbers, or I'm sorry, the letters are here. So I'll just change this back to 2.5. And now it's the same height as that one. So all I gotta do is export it, and we want a STLS file. It is preparing, and my internet is super slow today. Loving it. And yeah. Okay, so we're back in the system here. I got my SD card back in, and we're gonna go in here and delete this file. This was my original one. So I just want to delete this one. Get rid of that. Yep. So that way there, when I go back into it, reinstall into the printer, I don't have to worry about double hitting it, you know what I mean? Okay, we're going to open this back up, and as you can see how this is extremely large, which is going to be too big for a print. So we need to first rotate it, and you can use this, but I like to keep it flat on the table. So I like to just use the your Z will spin you around. To me it's just easier. A lot of guys will, oh, it's just real quick to go the other way, but or I could have just typed in 90 and it probably would have got me there just as quicker. But you know, oh, check for updates. No, not right now. Let's continue our rotation here. And we'll get us just a close 90. And there's 90, so it's flat. So I need to resize this because this is too big. This is almost like a highway sign style. So Y should be our size. So I think I'll take it down to about 70%. Yeah. Then we'll go 75. Let's do 75%. I like big signs. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we're going to make a couple clones of it. So we're going to take this one, move it up here, move this guy over here, get him out of the way, and we'll do one more. See if those all fit. And they do. Alright, so, and now we go to slice. Simple as can be. And we are going to print directly on the table. So we just go through, you can watch your playback here, how she's going to cook it. Down to nothing. Like so. And we're going to save it. Let's see, so we're going to go down to the file. And the file name is here. And we'll save it. Right to our card. And I like to open the card back up just to make sure everybody's there. So, and there is our file. Just like that. So we'll go back to the printer and stick our file in and see how she turns out this time. Okay, you can see the difference in the prints. This was the first attempt. Very thin. I mean, it's probably thinner than a dime. It's real thin. Good detail though. Its edges are cut just a little bit. So this is my last rendition. That's about the size we need right there. So another thing about the 3D print, I hear all kinds of people talk about, oh man, it's so messy. It is a little messy. I mean, to me it's not a big deal. I work in automotive and it's just, this isn't nothing. You know, I personally don't smell much. I can't smell much anyways, but so the odor to me doesn't bother me. I print right here in the house. My wife doesn't even notice it either, so it's not a big deal. And the cleanup, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if you guys airbrush, it's no different than cleaning your airbrush, really. You know, time you take your airbrush all apart, clean the needle, clean all the little pieces out, you're getting Q-tips out and cleaning all the little pieces. I mean, that's how I am. When I get done with my things, I make sure they're clean, like squeaky clean, like they brand new. So if you went to pick it up, hey, did you just buy this? No, I've had it for 10 years, you know. That's just me. I like cleaning stuff, and that way next time I know it works like it should. But I mean, the 3D printer, the only difference is you got what? You got the vat to clean, which is no big deal. You got your spatula and then your printing bed. So cleaning the parts is a little more. Yeah, I mean, you got to do a couple rinse cycles on the parts and then cure them and whatever. But I tell you what, for the print quality, you can't compare. I mean, you just can't. So I don't have the print like your little wash station they have. I've looked them up. They're $100 some. They're not bad price. I just don't have one. I just, for what it takes to clean it, I just don't see him spending the money. It's, I mean, probably down the road maybe. I don't know. But anyways, I just got a couple little silver bowls from Dollar General. Mix my 70% alcohol in it and use that because that is easily to get right now due to the COVID situation. Other than that, I use the 90% once I'm all done for my final rinse. I'll use that because I use it sparingly because I only have so much, you know. So same as the vat. I'll start with 70%, get it all cleaned out, wipe it out good, and then I'll do a 70% rinse, clean it out, and put it all back together, and it's ready to go for the next time. Buy paint strainers, pour my resin back into the bottle when I'm done. It's good to go. So, yeah.